Hello everybody, this is Gretchen Hidell and I am live tonight on Facebook Monday night on May 25th, and it's actually Memorial Day on the live broadcast. So whether you're watching this on Facebook Live or Facebook Replay or even on YouTube, I am posting these, cross-posting these on my YouTube channel. I love to connect with you all, and I love live broadcasting. I know it is Memorial Day, so I don't know how many folks will be joining, but I figured I'd jump on quickly and talk about some of the energies that are going on this week, astrologically speaking. We have still the love detox that we're dealing with here, people. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about the love detox, which is Venus is retrograde, but also Juno. And Juno is a planet that we haven't spoken about too much, and I wanted to go over what Juno is and her role in your love life and your ideal marriage life. And also let's talk about how Mercury retrograde is starting to get into position to retrograde soon. Oh joy. And then finally, we do have the second quarter, or sometimes people call it the first quarter lunar cycle, coming up on Friday. So there's lots to talk about. The week's energy is a little bit more mild than we've normally been having in 2020. This is more like a normal week in astrology versus the craziness that we've had in 2020. It seemed like every time I was coming on, it was like, this is big, and this is big, and this is big in 2020, and it's just been a little too much, we'll just say. So we're reeling it back some, and now we're retrograding, and this is retrograde season. We're excited to start that. Now, next month, I'm going to be talking about eclipse season, and that's going to be starting. So we'll have eclipses next month. The big thing with June coming up is eclipses are going to be next month, and also Mercury retrograde next month. So we're having a little quiet time right now, and that's good. I think we all could use a little quiet time right now. So I like to tell you all what's happening and what's coming up, so because I believe in forewarned is forearmed, and so you can know and you can plan wisely and all that, because astrology is really the study of time. That's really what it is. Hey, Darlene, welcome. Naomi, thank you for tagging somebody. My mom, Rita, is on. Oh no, not another Mercury retrograde. Yeah, they happen all the time. She knows that. 3 weeks, 3 times a year, Mercury retrograde. So we're always talking about Mercury going retrograde and doing something. So let's get started. So if you guys are just joining, like and share, like and share, like and share. That's how the good word gets spread. And also please post your name and your astrological sign. I love hearing from everybody, and welcome for joining, and thanks for joining on Memorial Day. This is fun. I thought maybe we could, a few people were online that we could all kind of chit chat. Hey, Molly, Taurus, welcome. A lot of planets were in your zone or sector last week. We're getting highlighted in Taurus. Today, specifically, even Uranus was in Taurus, acting up a little bit today, being naughty, we'll just say, highlighting Mars. Lori, hi, welcome. Libra, I love hearing all your signs, so keep on posting and say hi tonight. Don't be shy. And so we're going to be talking about who is your ideal marriage partner. That's the secret sauce. Everybody kind of wants to know, who am I going to get married to? My number one question that I talk about, or the people want to know about, is their love life. Because it's human need, it's human connection time. Kathleen, Leo, welcome. And we want to know what's going to happen. What's our love life like, and all that good stuff. Am I going to get married? Am I going to be in a long-term committed relationship? Will I find the person of my dreams? All of that stuff is really good stuff. So when we talk about, there's certain planets that kind of influence sectors of our life, and for sure Venus. I'm always talking about Venus all the time, especially now that we're in the love detox. Venus is still retrograde in Gemini, so we're still in the love detox. And why do I call it a detox? Well, whenever these planets go retrograde, it's like a little stress test in that sector. So we're stress testing our love lives right now. We're stress testing our romantic departments. And so Pisces, oh, Tiffany, hi. Pisces, welcome. Monica, yes, so fun that you're going to be able to join us. That's welcome. Welcome, Monica. So hi, everybody that's joining. Welcome. And go ahead and post your sign, your astrological sign. I love hearing from you all. So, so we're going to be talking about the love detox, and Venus is retrograde still, and it's going to continue to be retrograde, for a while, okay, until I believe June 25th. I'll just double check that. Yep, June 25th. So we have plenty of time being Venus retrograde. Venus is when we're going to be reviewing our love life, reviewing, maybe exes are going to come back, or we're going to be looking at, are we dating? Should we be dating? Are we with our ideal partner? Are we going to break up with our partner? Do we have problems or issues to straighten out with our partner? All of this stuff gets worked out during Venus retrograde period. And that's why I call it a love detox, because boy, it will clear out anything that is not working. I mean, if that relationship is not working, and then sometimes it brings in unresolved relationships like exes, people from our past, and I don't know if any of y'all got hit up by your exes yet, but that is a thing that that tends to be really, with these retrogrades. And actually, just to let you know, next month, for 1 week, there's going to be an overlap between Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde, and that's going to come up in June. So we have there's going to be some busy energy in June. So we're actually leaving May on a quiet note. Thank you, God and Goddess and whoever you pray to. That's a good thing, because like I said, 2020 in general has just been. I just feel like it's been. I've been the distributor of kind of bad news a lot of times in 2020. So this week is a mild week. Yay. So we're going to talk about Juno. So Juno is an asteroid, okay? And she's considered to be a minor kind of thing, but I have found these asteroids to be major, and I, as an astrologer, use asteroids. I love asteroids. My astrological charts are way more complicated looking than a lot of astrologers when they're doing their chart, because they're just using kind of like the basic planets, but I add in the asteroids, and I find them to be hugely helpful. They do give me an additional lens, and they're important, because they're the ladies, we have a lot of male planets, but the asteroids were all named after goddesses. So not all the asteroids in all of the universe, but the 4 major ones that we use, which are, Juno and Ceres and all of those folks. So Juno was actually in Greek mythology called Hera, and she was Jupiter's wife, okay? So Jupiter in Greek mythology was Zeus, and then so Juno is Jupiter's wife, or you could say Hera was Zeus's wife, okay? Whatever you want to say. But in Roman mythology, which is what astrology uses, that's basically what we call her is Juno. And she is the mother of Mars. So it's interesting to put her in context, I think, because she's the wife she's a badass, Jupiter / Zeus was a badass, okay, in the zodiac. And when we look at her, she was his wife, and she was legally married. So only very few of the goddesses were actually legally married to the gods, So she was one of the ones. She was the wife, And so when we look at her in an astrological context, we're looking at her, who's my ideal marriage partner? And I just had a question about this today, and it just so happens she has been retrograde. So we're having this love detox time frame with Venus being retrograde. But now we're talking about Juno has been retrograde, and she's been retrograde for a while. She's been retrograde since February 9th. So we've been in a little bit of a love detox minor. Again, she's a minor asteroid, okay, but she's very important. And so whatever sign she is in your astrological chart, she is describing who that would be for you. So for example, I'll use myself because I know what my deal is. Just saying. Is Juno, for me, in my chart, is in Gemini. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to marry a Gemini, though I definitely have seen that. I've seen people meet their partner and their sun will be conjunct Juno, and all of a sudden it's like, that would be my ideal marriage partner. or their rising sign will be conjunct, your Juno, or their moon sign will be conjunct your Juno. That often happens with marriage partners or romantic partners, where, because when we look at that person, we're saying, ooh, they have a lot of qualities and traits that I like, and that's Juno. So in my case, Gemini, I tend to prefer partners that are lively and interesting and curious and very talkative. I tend to date men that are very talkative men, and men that write me things. I have a higher, I think, degree than normal amount of men that write me letters, and they write me songs, and they write me poetry, and they write me these beautiful things. And so I love men that write, and I love receiving those writings for sure. It's a thing. So I'll just say that out loud, and that is Gemini. Gemini in a chart is writing and communicating and talking, and indeed my love language is talking, and words of affirmation. If anybody knows what their love language is, go ahead and post your love language. I love talking about love languages, and we can talk about that tonight. And so, hi everybody, welcome that's joining. I have so many people that are joining. Marianne, hi. Oh yes, I'm so glad that you like talking about Juno. That's awesome. You're married to a Gemini. So I wonder, Mary, and what your Juno sign is in. Oh, hey, Jen, how you doing? Gemini, yes. Is your Juno in Gemini too? I forget. Thank you for the hearts. Like and share, and go ahead and post your astrological information. I love hearing your sun signs and all that. So Juno is a very interesting asteroid. And wherever she is so she transits around, and wherever she is in your chart is where we're getting a concentrated Juno sort of thing. And so Juno currently is in Libra, just to let you know, and has been in Libra for a very long time. So she takes 4 years to go all the way around the astrological chart just one time. So she's in each sign, I don't know, a few months here and there, unless if she goes retrograde. And she's been retrograde in Libra all this time since February 9th. She's been in Libra, and she's actually been in Libra totally since November 5th. So she's been in Libra a very long time. So between November 5th and she's going to go direct on Tuesday, tomorrow, at around 10:52 p.m. Eastern time. She'll turn direct. She's been retrograde. And she's still got to go all the way back through Libra again. So she's going to be in Libra total from November 5th, 2019, all the way until September 21st, 2020 of this year. So she's in Libra. So if you guys are a Libra, any Libras out there, you guys are getting an extended Juno cycle in your chart. Or again, if you're another air sign, so if you're a Gemini or if you're an Aquarius. So if anybody knows their Juno, Kathleen said her love language is acts of service and quality time. So it'd be interesting to know what your Juno is. Sometimes acts of service ends up being a Virgo, Juno and Virgo, because you like service. Now, it's interesting when people get confused about this, and I want to clarify. And if anybody has any questions, or if you're not understanding what I'm saying, definitely go ahead and post below. Kirsten, said Capricorn and her husband of 40 years is a Pisces. Yeah, you Capricorns love those Pisces. I know so many people that are a couple of Pisces and Capricorn. You guys tend to really be pulled in together. Amy, hello, Amy. Pisces, married to a Gemini, but he's not a communicator. See, that is an unusual thing, but we need to know what his moon sign and what his rising sign and his other signs in order to know what type of a Gemini he would be. So it's not to say that you will literally marry whatever your Juno sign is. So again, it doesn't mean I'm going to marry a Gemini, though I could for sure. It means that I'm marrying a man or a partner or spouse that is has Gemini traits or qualities. So if you look at Juno in your chart, it's whoever Juno, the sign is describing the type of partner that you would like, and the type of partner that would be good for you, or whatever. My dog is trying to get my attention. So basically that is what the deal is. And because she is currently in Libra, Libra is all about relationships. That's literally the life lesson of Libra. So we're really getting worked out quite a bit here in the love department, even though it's been kind of secondary to all of this big, large, world changing, all of the stuff with the virus and, job market and governments and all of that stuff has sort of shrouded the fact that we're also in this like sort of love detox questioning time frame. So it's just been interesting. Juno's been quietly retrograde all this time, but we've been having some, I know I have a lot of people contacting me with questions about relationships and should I leave? Should I get divorced? Should I really keep doing this with somebody? And that is the big questions that we're getting. And I think also with the fact that we're in shutdown or lockdown, we're either maybe separated from a partner or we're too close to a partner and we're just like in each other's faces, and we're really looking at partnerships right now in a deeper way. And then if you're single, how are you meeting new people? Well, for sure. And most people are meeting on the internet. I was reading statistics today. Some of you know this and maybe some of you don't, but I also am a dating and relationship coach. So I like to work with couples or singles looking for love or partnerships. I coach people through doing that and through the dating process and finding their love partner and their love mate and all of that stuff. So I love working with folks around this topic. And so I'm getting a lot of those questions right now with COVID and all that. And I was reading that the use of online apps and dating match sites like Match.com and Bumble and Tinder and all of the dating sites are showing this gigantic increase actually of activity. So a lot of people are thinking, if you're single, I'm never going to find anybody. Or, how do you find, your ideal love partner in the middle of COVID? Well, people are definitely doing it. And what we're seeing as far as dating coaching, and I'm talking from my personal experience with my clients, and I'm also talking about, some of you may know a famous sort of dating and relationship coach named Matthew Hussey. He's seeing the same thing where we're actually seeing people talking for the first time, when they're single and they're looking for a match, and they're not just hooking up or getting into the bedroom immediately because, nobody wants to meet during COVID. So they're talking, they're getting to know each other, and studies have shown that people who actually build a solid relationship and a friendship and a foundation and slow it down in the physical department actually can make a love connection. Shocker. So getting to know each other. So where pre-COVID, people were kind of quickly hooking up, maximizing that experience. And then it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of over it or done. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there's a lot of people that do that have hooked up really quickly, but then they don't talk and they don't get to know each other and they get to know their likes, their dislikes, and all of that. And we're seeing a big increase in people doing that, and they're making love connections, and they're doing it all through computers and through Zoom and through Facebook Messenger and all that type of stuff. So during this love detox, we're not only are we finding, different ways to shop and, all this stuff with COVID, but we're also finding different ways to connect. And what is your love language? Because love language is a huge thing that actually is really good. Now, do you have to have matching love languages? No. Are you willing to be bilingual? Okay. Are you willing in your partnership with your spouse or your lover or your mate? If your lover or mate or your spouse does not have the same love language as you, then you have to learn how to speak their language and they have to learn how to speak your language. And so it's almost like I always say to people, and by the way, I'm referencing the book, The 5 Love Languages. And if you haven't read that book, I would go get it. And also there's a test that takes literally 10 minutes. It's called 5, like the number 5, lovelanguages.com. And whatever your top 2 are, that's your top 2 love languages. And so it's good to know what your love languages are, and then also what you would like your partner, like if your partner has a love language and whatever theirs is. So I can go over very quickly the 5 love languages if you'd like me to. It is words of affirmation, it's physical, it's service, acts of service, like I do nice things for you, quality time, and gifts. And so whatever those love languages are, and I have found that Juno and also Venus show us what our love language is, and it helps to kind of describe that. So Amy said her husband is a Gemini, but he doesn't communicate, or maybe that's not his primary love language. It would be interesting to know what his Venus sign and what his Juno sign is, because sometimes that also indicates what his love language would be and how he relates, because we often speak in the language we want to receive in. So if I want to hear you, like let's say I spoke French as my primary language, I would speak to you in French, and I would hope that you would speak back to me in French. So that's how we communicate, is we communicate with our love language. So if we're physical, we might want to like rub our partner's shoulder, or like caress their arm, or, do whatever and touch them, and maybe even have some sexuality. And so we often want to receive that way as well. Sometimes, Gwen said, put up a good point. Sometimes there's different giving and receiving languages. You like to hear words, but then you like to give gifts. Yes, that occasionally occurs. However, I do see usually people speak in the language they want to receive in. It is a thing. It also, I should say this too, that the love languages can have, and I won't spend too much time on this, but it can have a darker side where that's how we're manipulated. So let's say, you like to hear words as an example. People who are word people, well, sometimes they go a little too much on someone's word and they don't do enough on actions. So they can fall for a word, or they can, if their primary love language is physical, then they can be used physically, or manipulated physically. Or another example of that would be gifts. If someone keeps buying you things, if your gift primary love language, it would be like, but they love me, they're buying gifts, but then meanwhile they're being a jerk or doing some other thing that's not really good. So sometimes love languages can be so seductive, we can get really pulled in by those languages. So it is good for you guys to know what your love language is. But we're getting this extended love connection and love, sort of thing that's going on in astrology, which I think is quite interesting. And then in the fall, we're going to have Mars will go retrograde too, which is our sexuality. So Venus is our sensuality. And then Juno is who kind of, whatever our idea of an ideal love partner would be, or a romantic life partner. And then, so luckily this week, tomorrow actually, Juno is turning direct in Libra, and Libra is all about balance, fairness, beauty, and definitely wants to find that connection, that love partner, or to hook up or do whatever. Like to really get that connection. So we might have been questioning our romance, and now we're just continuing to do so because Venus is retrograde. The planets are all turning retrograde. So getting into what's happening then this week, I'm just looking for my notes here. Mercury is starting to move into position to retrograde next month. So we're not going to rush it, okay? We're not rushing things, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that we're getting into that time frame of a Mercury retrograde, and I always say forewarned is forearmed. And so Mercury is moving into the sign of Cancer. Home and family, home and family, home and family. And we're going to start to move towards Cancer season as we get closer into next month. Mercury has been in Gemini for the last 2 weeks, and now it's going to move into Cancer. So wherever Cancer falls within your astrological chart is where Mercury will occur. Mercury is often about talking, communicating. So when we put Mercury in Cancer, we're going to be talking about our feelings. Let's just face it. Feelings, family, things that mean a lot to us, nostalgia, okay, like, the past and, oh, woe is me and all that stuff. I mean, Mercury in Cancer can sometimes be a little like that, a little sentimental, a little weepy, and definitely a focus on home and family. Now, we've already been doing home and family for what feels like a long time, because we've been, unless if you're working on the front line, a lot of people have been in quarantine and during COVID and all that. Well, we're going to be having a reconnection with that, and Mercury is going to be in Cancer for a long extended time frame. So this is the date that I want you to kind of be aware of. So Mercury is going to end up going retrograde. Let's see, for my notes here, I have it written down. On the 18th of June. So just to let you know, we're starting to move into that time frame. Mercury starts its shadow period on June 2nd. So people often get confused. What is a shadow period? Why is that even relevant or important? I don't put too much into shadow periods. I mean, I always say it's kind of just like, I want you to say like heads up, shadow periods coming, which is like really like, to me, feels like we're going towards the finish line of Mercury retrograde. So that's the time you really want to back up things, back up computers, and make sure that you handle all of your business before the retrograde actually hits. The shadow time frame, they say, is like where you really start to feel the retrograde, because we're starting to feel it slowing down. Because remember, these things are not like light switches. They're like cars, where you have to slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, stop, and then slowly back up, okay, over time. So that is the official retrograde. But we're moving into that time. So June 2nd, shadow period starts. June 18th, Mercury retrograde starts. I read somewhere one time, if you really added up all of Mercury retrograde and all of the and included the shadow periods, you'd spend the majority of like almost the whole entire year in some sort of retrograde cycle. And I don't like to think of it like that. I like to think of 3 weeks is the actual retrograde. Go by that, but just know that it's in its wonky phase. It starts getting wonky around June 2nd. That's kind of the way I look at it. I still do everything that I'm doing normally all the way up until the 18th. I will continue, like, I'll just start getting prepared for the retrograde of like, okay, things are happening, printers like acting weird, your cell phone's acting weird, all of a sudden somebody missed your text or missed your email or misconstrued what you said. That stuff kind of starts to happen during the shadow time, but it doesn't officially kick in until the 18th. So just to let you know, you still have time. You have about a little less than a month, okay, going into the retrograde time frame. So that's the big news, and that's going to happen. Mercury is going to enter Cancer on May 28th, this Thursday, and it's going to be at 2:09 p.m. and we're going to just start that new phase. And Mercury in Cancer is not a bad thing. It's just a little weepy, a little sentimental, definitely with a focus on domestic, home and family, kind of like, I always say like making soup and having barbecues and stuff like that. Though, please, everybody, remember what I've been saying all along. I said this all the way back when I was talking about how COVID was going to be changing the world and changing history and all this stuff. I told you all that we would go through a period in the summertime of complacency, where people would all of a sudden be like, woohoo, COVID's over. And then everybody's going to come down with COVID. So I want you guys to know, because you guys are getting the inside scoop here tonight, and hopefully you're liking and sharing with your friends, because again, that's so important. I don't want you guys to get complacent. I want you guys to act exactly like you were acting all this time. Hopefully you're wearing face masks, okay, because they are realizing it's way more airborne than they ever thought. and you're washing your hands, and you're doing safe practices, and you're staying away from all of the big crowds. I'm seeing these crowds on TV of Memorial Day, and it's blowing my mind. No, we need to act still as if COVID's around, because it really truly is still around. I'm not saying living in fear. I'm saying being respectful of this virus. This virus was born under the astrological sign of Scorpio. Think about it. It's got spikes. If you've seen the microscopic visual of it, it's got spikes that stick into you. I mean, literally, it's scorpionic, you know, with the tail and the little dagger there. You know, I mean, so we have to remember that scorpions are covert, and they're like under the surface, and they hide, and they're under your bed, or they're in your shoe, or even under the toilet seat. Yuck. You know, I mean, like, I've heard, you know, scorpions, they hide in the shadows. And so that's what this virus has been doing, is it hides in the shadow. And also I've felt very strongly it has, for some reason, to me, and this is an energetic thing. I'm not talking about that I read this anywhere, any kind of thing, but to me, it has a very similar feeling to it to HIV, and I don't know why. But I'm feeling like it has some kind of thing. I don't know if it lives in the system for a long time. I don't know if it's like a herpes thing, or like it just stays with you, like chickenpox stays with you, you know, for your life, and then it goes dormant. I don't know what the deal is with it, but there's some kind of a thing with this. So to be continued with that. So remember, I told you guys the fall was going to be terrible astrologically speaking. I'm sorry to say it, but it's not going to be pretty fall going into winter. And I don't know if that's because financial and the governments, or if it's because of the virus. But I want you guys to be prepared. Forewarned is forearmed. And so I want you to continue just the same thing you've been doing all this time, being safe, and buying maybe just 1 or 2 extra cans of beans, not like a crazy amount, just like a couple little extra things when you go to the grocery store, and just having that safety and being mindful of like contamination and stuff, because that scorpionic energy can be very sneaky and kind of goes, you know, hides in the shadows. So that's what the deal is with this virus. So, but we are going to have this complacency thing in the summertime, and we're about to get rocked a little bit more, because now we're going to go into eclipse season. And so the very first eclipse that's coming is actually going to be on June 5th. That's Friday, and it's a lunar eclipse. So we're going to have 2 lunar eclipses and 1 solar eclipse. It'll be lunar, solar, lunar. And the first one is actually going to end up being in Sagittarius. It's a full moon lunar eclipse. It'll be the strawberry moon. And then we're going to go back into the axis of Cancer, and then Capricorn. So, oh my goodness, here we go. Cancer, Capricorn again. So we're back into all of that stuff. So I want you guys to just be aware that we're not out of the woods yet, but people are kind of thinking they are, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to make this spread and everything kind of worse. So anyway, so I want to stick with love and talk about love. So if anybody has any questions, I'll take 1 or 2 questions, and then I'll do just a card of the week, so that you guys know. So the big 3 days this week, just to let you know, are tomorrow, when Juno goes direct, and we're still in Juno and Libra, and that's your ideal marriage partner. And then we have Mercury going into Cancer, which is starting to prepare itself to be in that zone of the astrological sign of Cancer, which is what it will be retrograde in coming up. And then we are going to have on Friday the first quarter lunar cycle, which is a reassessment or a reevaluation of the new moon last week. So if you guys forgot, not that any of you would forget, but if you did forget to write your new moon manifestation list last Friday, you'll have a second shot at it coming up on this Friday, on the 29th. So just so that you know, the first quarter lunar cycle, you could for sure write your new moon manifestation list. It wouldn't technically be a new moon list, but it would still be a manifestation list. So that would be very good. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Long time no see. Hey, Doreen. Welcome. And so Friday is your second shot. And if you think about the new moon to the full moon, so if you think about farming, New moon is planting seeds. The first quarter lunar cycle, the seeds have come up, they're growing. What are they doing? What are the plants doing? Do the plants need water? Do they need fertilizer? What's happening? And then full moon, harvest time. And then second quarter lunar cycle or last quarter lunar cycle, whichever you call it, we clear the fields to prepare for the new moon. That's how it goes. So there's 4 quarters to of the moon. There's 4 different times that we're looking at in the month, and this is just the midpoint. This is where in the sky it looks half light and half dark, and so we're just kind of reassessing or reevaluating our crops in that moment. And you know, I find those lunar quarter lunar cycles to be a little sometimes contentious because we're reevaluating or reassessing something. So something might come up and we have to kind of make a decision. That's all it is. It's not a big deal. But that'll be on Friday, 11:30 p.m. in Virgo. One thing I've never talked about, I should probably mention this, is that when the new moon is in a sign, okay, so like the new moon last week on Friday was in Gemini, that will set the tone for whatever modality, okay, that the planets are in. So Gemini is immutable. So what's going to happen is all the moon cycles, these 4 moon cycles, are all going to be mutable. Okay, so it'll go Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and then lastly Pisces. Okay, so it's all going to be the mutable signs this month. That'll be the new way that all the mutables will get hit up, basically. So this particular quarter lunar cycle, it's the first quarter between the new moon and the full moon, is going to be in Virgo, 9 degrees Virgo. So I don't know if Harold is on tonight, Harold the Virgo, or if any other Virgos are on. I can't remember who was earlier that said hi. Hey Nitty, Leo, welcome. I love when you guys post your signs. So I'm just going to take maybe 1 or 2 questions, but nobody's posted anything yet. And I'm definitely going to be answering any questions that you may have. So post now, or I'm going to be concluding. Catherine's a Virgo. Okay, so this Friday, 29th, May 29th, is going to be, oh, Mom, how could I have forgotten you? I'm so sorry, honey. My mom's a Virgo. She's been on. 9 degrees Virgo, Mom. Your Virgo's 29 degrees right at the end, so this won't hit you head on because it'll be more in the beginning of Virgo if you were born in the beginning. Hey Kim, Leo, welcome. Nitty, worried about your dad's health. Okay, so let's just do. I know, Mom. Sorry about that. My memory tonight is been a little. I think I've been, because I was kind of thinking about being off all day, so I've been like a little spacey. Okay. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to do 1 card for everybody. A collective card, not that I'm pulling cards for everybody, a collective card. What do you guys need to know coming up for this week? What's the main energies that you guys need to know about the collective energies? Ooh. This is a good one. Take your power back. I don't know if you can see here. Take your power back. Okay. This week, Archangel Raziel, take your power back. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Okay. Now, we were talking a lot about relationships and how we've been in the love detox. We're taking our power back, people. Taking our power back. So in relationships, it doesn't mean we have to be jerks, or whatever. It just means that we have to be in our power if something feels good to us or if it doesn't feel right. And our body reacts to when our relationships are not right, our body reacts to it not being right. We'll feel anxiety, we'll feel a little off, and then a lot of times we ignore that red flag or whatever, but our body usually gives us that really good direct feedback. And I meant to mention love, with love, we want to do some rose quartz. Love is self-love and harnessing or receiving love. I love rose quartz for any love things and love questions and all that. So Nitty asked first about her dad's health. So let me just go into dad's health. You didn't post his name, which I wouldn't expect you to, Nidhi, on a live broadcast, but I am trying to get connected to his energy. It feels pretty good, Nidhi. I mean, I'm getting something with his feet or his lower legs, like his knees, his feet. I don't know if there's something going on like with an arthritis or with a diabetes, or just because it's just achy or sore or something going on with his lower legs. But I mean, like, I'm not getting any kind of, at least right this second, feeling about him having any major stuff. I am getting kind of a chest feeling, which that can be heart or lung, that he just needs to kind of watch that area of his body, like watch his blood pressure, watch his cholesterol, you know, that kind of thing. But it's not like I'm feeling like some eminent horrible thing. I mean, otherwise, I think he feels fairly good, Nidhi. So, if you had any other questions about that, please post below. But, oh, by the way, I should say this, Spread Your Wings, for Papa, which is actually a great card. Archangel Ariel, don't hold back right now. Timing is perfect. Be ready to soar. And so that's not a bad card at all, for health, really. It's good. So hopefully that helps, Nidhi. I don't know what's going on. The big thing with him, I keep feeling really is like the feet and the ankles, and I'm not sure why, but you'll have to let me know, post below if there's anything with his feet or ankles. Okay. Jill posted, is she moving? I did see you moving. That answer hasn't changed. Okay. I saw you moving still. Just a matter of when, that's all. That's all. I had told somebody years and years and years ago, I think it was like 5 years ago, that they were going to move to Florida, and they did indeed just move to Florida, but it was like 5 or 6 years ago. Sometimes it takes time, okay, for those things to happen. So, Jill, I'm going to ask anyway the cards for you. Are you still moving, or are you moving? And not anytime soon. I do think you are moving still, just to let you know. But you're getting healthy lifestyle, so this is more about your health. I know that I did see you posting, if I remember correctly, that you broke something. And so this is about really taking care of your health, a healthy lifestyle. Archangel Raguel, eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, exercise regularly for optimal health. And so perhaps you need to heal more. Your physical body, Jill, needs to heal more, but I do see you moving. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel close. I don't know if it got pushed back. What I'm seeing is people have goals and dreams and all that. What I'm seeing in people's readings are just everything's still the same. It's just moved back, and it's like you're still going to be achieving those things. I mean, some people obviously had something that, you know, the dream died or something didn't happen, but most people, it's still going to happen. It's just got moved slightly. So just to let you know, and to give you guys some hope here, you know, that's a big thing is hope, that this stuff is still going to take place. And I do see you. I think it's going to be closer to 2021, possibly 2022, Jill, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it could be even maybe next year, but it just feels like it moves back or something. And then Kirsten wants to know, is it safe to travel late June, early July? Okay, so here's the thing, Kirsten. I just got done saying that's when Mercury's going to be retrograde. Okay, just letting you know. So you'll be traveling during Mercury retrograde. And I don't know if that's really going to be great, because given everything happening, I don't know if you can put it off until after Mercury is no longer retrograde. But Kirsten, I'm going to pull a card for you about would they be safe traveling during Mercury retrograde during this time? Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, I listen to spirit guides and guardian angels, more, you know, all is well. Okay, so they said it would be good still to travel. Archangel Jeremiah, everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to with hidden blessings you will soon understand. So, woo! I just crashed something, obviously. Sorry about that. I want to keep everybody on your toes. Okay, so Mercury is going retrograde on June 18th. And let's see, is going to go direct on July 12th. Okay, just to let you guys know, give you a heads up. So Kirsten, when you're talking about traveling during Mercury retrograde, those are the dates coming up. So we do have stuff happening. So I hope that helps everybody. Remember that you want to take back your power. That's the message from this week, and it's all about being in that love detox. We're still talking about love, and we're still thinking about love, and when will we be in love, and all those things with love. And we might even have an incoming of exes coming back, or past friends even. I mean, sometimes it's just friendship, or sometimes it's past coworkers, or sometimes it's past, this is the time usually, like I always say, you run into people, or you do whatever, kind of thing. And so this is a time where exes, can be, that's okay, Kirsten. Well, you're welcome. Please be safe though while you're traveling. Wear masks and take all the precautions. And they even say now eye goggles might be a good thing to wear if you're flying. So that might be a good thing. So Kim said this weekly message was so incredibly on point for you. Marianne said, thank you. You're amazing. And you guys are amazing too. Olive asked what deck this is. Unfortunately, all of Doreen Virtue's decks are no longer available. She had a change in life, we'll just say, and denounced all of her former work. I know it's kind of an interesting story, we'll just say, but she all of a sudden said that what she was doing was the devil's work, and then she pulled all of her decks, which is really too bad because Doreen gave to us an amazing tool, and archangels are not devil, okay? That's a beautiful, archangels are wonderful. So I don't know what happened with Doreen, and I send prayers to her because I think, I don't know, she kind of lost her way a little bit, but anyway, that's the thing of it. So you can't really find this deck anymore. You can on Amazon, but it's like close to $100, people who have these decks that, they're trying to charge a lot for them. So just to let you guys know. Lori Mays, thank you, Gretchen Hidell. Yeah, so if you guys would like to work with me, you know what to do. Send me a text message or send me a private message. I have a little bit of a waiting period, so please be patient with me. And so I love all of you guys. And if you'd like to book an astrological session, I have 45-minute, 90-minute, or 2-hour sessions. And I know 2 hours seems like a long time, but it actually flies by very quickly. And so, yeah, Kirsten, hold on to your deck. Okay, don't get rid of these decks because these are priceless now, practically, for Doreen Virtue. And as always, please be safe. Remember that love connection comes from your connection with yourself. Self-love is the most important love, and it all goes out from there. So if you love and value yourself, then you can love and value others, and that's where it comes from. So be safe, be well. Call me or text me if you'd like to have a personalized astrological session or dating and relationship coaching. And I will see you guys next Monday night, same time, same place, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great week, y'all. Bye.